Welcome, fellow product leaders, to this month's Lead the Way Wednesday. Today, we're going to have a little bit of fun because I'm going to talk about how I applied my product management skill set to everyday life and something outside of work. And I'm going to share with you my 3 learnings from that experience that you all might find enjoyable, or it might be relatable to you as well. So specifically today, if you know me personally, you know that my husband and I have been remodeling our house since we bought it. And just recently, literally within the month of January, which is why you all didn't hear from me, we put the final touches on actually finishing this remodel of our entire upstairs. So that included multiple bedrooms, multiple bathrooms, and we did most of this work ourselves. My husband is a construction person, so he does have a lot of knowledge as it relates to construction and managing massive projects, where I have a lot of experiencing in managing the building of technology and technology projects. So we combined forces to remodel our home, which is very interesting because I learned a lot going through this process about not only construction, but also how I would say my typical world of agile product development does and does not apply to the construction world. So today I'm going to share with you my 3 major learnings when applying product management to home renovations. The first thing is, the first critical takeaway I had was it is critical in construction to understand which items are one-way decisions versus two-way decisions. So let me take a moment and explain what that means. In product development, we often talk about what decisions are one-way doors, meaning once you make that choice, you're kind of committed to it. You can't easily go back and change it. It might be very expensive to go back and change that. A lot of times these are architecture type of decisions. A lot of times you're working with your engineering managers or certain stakeholders to make that one-way decision, which really is going to commit you to going in that direction and not really looking back. The other type of decision that I described is what we call a two-way door kind of decision. And these are decisions that can easily be undone and can be changed afterwards. This is what helps product teams or anyone developing software, I would say, to move quickly. Those two-way door types of decisions, we make them, we learn, we go, and we move on. And we iterate and continue to iterate based on what we learn. Those decisions, we don't want to waste time on, if you will, because we know we can change it easily afterwards. Whereas we do want to spend a lot more time upfront planning and organizing and aligning on those one-way decisions that can't easily be undone. So how does this relate to home renovations and construction? Well, let me tell you, there is a lot of one-way decisions when it comes to construction. This is probably also why people say construction usually goes by Gantt charts and project plans that are more waterfall in approach and not agile. I can confirm this is absolutely true. And the ways that we experience this in remodeling our own home is I wanted to change the upstairs layout. So it actually made more sense. It flowed better. And we utilized the space upstairs in better ways. In doing that, I realized just how many one-way decisions are required in order to actually figure this out. Because once you start tearing down the walls and you start moving things around, you can't really go back and put it back up. So this was very interesting and required both my husband and I to really think forward of how do we want this whole thing to work? Where does the plumbing need to go? Where does the electrical come in? What walls can you absolutely not move because it's required to keep your house standing? All of those types of things were required to be figured out before we could start making these one-way decisions, if you will. So as you can tell, in construction, there is a ton of one-way decisions that need to be made before you can literally even get started. But this brings me to my second major learning in this experience, and that is user testing and feedback can absolutely still apply to home remodels and can actually help you figure out what those one-way decisions should be. So let me give you this funny, well, I thought it was funny experience and something that I kind of enjoyed doing on this project. So once my husband and I figured out what walls we could actually take down, we then had to figure out what should the layout of the space be to fit in all the things that we wanted to have. So we wanted to have an actual master bedroom that had closet space in it that we could live in. We wanted a bathroom attached to that master bedroom with a bathtub in it and a shower, as well as a walk-in closet if we could make it fit. And then the third thing that we wanted to have was an extra guest bathroom upstairs so that people didn't have to use the bathroom in our master. They would have one that they could easily access from the guest bedroom or from our downstairs living room area. There'd be another one for people to use. This was a lot of requirements, right? So as a product people, here I am out there gathering my requirements, gathering what my husband wants, trying to negotiate on these things. But then there becomes the very, very much the reality of, okay, how are you going to get this all to fit and flow in a finite amount of space that you have? So how do we user test this? Well, we literally drew it out on the floor. That's right. We couldn't figure out where the bathroom should fit or where a bathtub should go versus the toilet. And if you could actually still walk around the closet and if things were in the way or whatnot. So what we did is we literally measured out the standard size of a bathtub, the standard size of a toilet, a size of a vanity, and we just drew it directly on the subflooring. Then once we had it laid out how we thought we wanted it, we user tested it, meaning we walked through what would have been our hallways and we walked through where the toilet space would have been and how wide it would have been to see if you like physically had enough room in these areas to actually function and actually enjoy the space and not be confounded to maybe some bad decisions you made and you realize it later down the road. So what this user testing allowed me to figure out is that how we originally wanted to have a shower and a bathtub in our master bedroom, it wouldn't have fit. Like literally there was not enough square footage to have them be separate things. And so what we had to do is we actually had to combine the shower and the bathtub to be a single, basically wet room in order to have enough space for both of them and get the walls to function in a way that actually flowed throughout the bedroom. So we got this mistake, if you will, early because we actually user tested the design that we went through. The second way I user tested in our home remodel is I was that lady that was in the showroom testing out the bathtubs. And when I say that, I mean, I just climbed in each one in the showroom, fully clothed, I promise. And I sat in them to see if they were actually comfortable and to make sure that I actually fit in them. So this was maybe a little strange, maybe a little atypical, if you will, but I know that I didn't want to make an expensive purchase and have that be the thing that goes into my house if it wasn't going to be functional or actually fit with what I wanted. So I went and tested out bathtubs in the price range that I was looking for or what I was hoping to spend. And I found a tub that was actually cheaper than what I was originally thinking of. And that looks nice and fits perfectly in our master bedroom. And I can perfectly fit in it and enjoy it as a soaking tub like I wanted to have. So user testing, just like in product management and product design, can actually apply to your home remodel. You might be a little bit different when you're the person in the showroom, but I highly recommend doing that for yourself. It can save you a lot of time and a lot of money in the end. All right, now for my third major learning. Let me tell you, anyone that's done a home remodel or fixed anything at home, the first thing I want to know from you in the comments is how many trips to Home Depots or Lowe's did you make in a single day? Yeah, I think we're all guilty of making a million trips in a day because we forgot one little thing, or we bought the wrong one of something, or we didn't buy the right size or the right length. Let me tell you, just like in product management, please spend the 15 minutes before you get started in the morning or before you head to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever your hardware store of choice is in gathering your requirements. Take a notebook with you, write them down, just like we would write a Jira ticket or an Asana ticket or whatever tool you use at work. Write down the exact length of something you need, the color that you need, how many you need, and take pictures if you have to. I am definitely a person that takes pictures of certain things. So when I go to the hardware store, I can look for that very specific thing and make sure it looks the same and everything matches up, because sometimes the boxes are wrong in the store too. So your product management experience and product ownership experience and gathering requirements and writing out requirements will go a long way in the home remodel world. And I would say this is probably the biggest area that my husband and I differed in, is working in construction. Like, he is an expert, right? He has so much knowledge of how things work and what materials are and whatnot. But let me tell you, he was not an expert in gathering requirements. So there were multiple times we made multiple trips to Home Depot in the same day, or we had to stop working on something because we didn't have the right part or we bought the wrong thing. So we had to make another trip later and then start working again later in the week on that same project. So once I started gathering the requirements before we went to Home Depot, we were able to actually execute end to end on things much faster and typically in the same day or on the same trip. So there you have it. Product management can be applied to other facets in your life. It is not something that's secret to tech. It really is a skill set and a mindset for solving real life problems. So don't be afraid to apply it to other things outside of your tech world that we all live in. I hope this was a fun lead the way Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you all again next month. If you're looking for more content about leadership like you saw today, give us a follow on LinkedIn and that will be delivered right to your inbox.